Well, welcome to Peanuts in Politics. I want to thank all the candidates who are participating in the Enterprise Chamber of Commerce annual Peanuts in Politics event. I'm Paul Sherling. I'm chairman of the Legislative Committee for the Chamber. Normally, this is live and in person. For years, we've done it at Cuts Restaurant. However, considering the times that we are facing right now with the COVID-19 pandemic, the Legislative Committee of the Chamber felt it was in the best interest of our citizens, our candidates, their family members, campaign supporters, and citizens in the city of Enterprise to conduct this online. We apologize in advance that we can't do this in person, but we're going to make lemonade out of lemons. This event will be uploaded in our chamber website and also on Facebook and YouTube for easy access and viewing for the public. The Enterprise Chamber also appreciates the media in joining us today. A big thank you and shout out also to Gil Anthony for moderating this event today. And thank you for all the participants and candidates who are participating. When entering the public arena and qualifying as a candidate, it shows you have a vested interest in improving the lives of our citizens in the city of Enterprise. And so we certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Judge. This event, as we said, was being hosted by the Enterprise Chamber of Commerce Government Relations Committee, hosted by the Judge, Paul Sherling. All questions were composed by a committee, and they've been kept secret by the committee members until this interview. In fact, I just saw the questions just a couple of minutes ago for the first time myself. The candidates are going to be in alphabetical order by last name, and all segments will be uploaded and posted on the Enterprise Chamber of Commerce Facebook page and YouTube channel within 24 to 48 hours. Also, you can find the detailed information about election candidates on the Chamber's website at www.enterprisealabama.com. And additionally, you can tune into the Southeast Sun to follow it on Facebook Live. And I know a lot of you people are probably working right now and will just want to hear segments of it or get the opportunity to hear segments of it. You can go to these various places and upload the information. I know after this, it's going to be uploaded also to some of the candidates' websites and personal social media pages, so you can check it out there. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with the mayoral candidates, the 4 candidates. We got them in alphabetical order. We're going to give them a 2-minute time limit to sort of introduce themselves and just give a brief synopsis of what they are all about. Then we're going to come back and we're going to ask a couple of questions. We're going to ask the questions on that. They'll have a minute for each question. We're going to go past the first question, then we'll go back and ask question number 2. And after that, they can have a summation time of 1 minute each to maybe say something that they forgot to mention or give any strengths that they might have. So we're going to start off. We've got the mayoral candidates. We're going in alphabetical order. We've got Bill Baker, of course. We've got the incumbent, William Bill Cooper, of course, Lister Reeves, and Perry Vickers. We're going to start off with the 2-minute introduction, and our first candidate for mayor of Enterprise is Mr. Bill Baker.
Thank you, sir. And I'd like to thank the Enterprise Chamber for hosting this event. It's always great to have an opportunity to speak at events such as this and be able to get my platform out there. My wife, Nell, and I have been residents of Enterprise for the last 21 years. We're members of the County Line Baptist Church. Our children and our grandchildren attended or currently attend Enterprise City Schools. I'm a graduate of Troy University. I'm also a combat veteran who retired after 24 years of honorable service in the Army. I spent the last 18 years working as a contractor in Army aviation. That gives me 42 years working in and around the military at Fort Rucker, Alabama. When I say I know how to support Fort Rucker, I'm speaking from experience. My combination of military and civilian experience helped me develop into a focused leader, strategic planner, and has given me a global business network. As your mayor, I will grow and support business opportunities for the city of Enterprise. I will form strategic planning committees made up of all pertinent organizations and give stakeholders a voice in the future of our great city. I will work with the school system to assist them in continuing to achieve that level of excellence that students, parents, and teachers expect from Enterprise City Schools. I will support our emergency services to ensure that Enterprise is a leader in the area for emergency management, fire, and police efforts. We cannot turn back the hands of time. We must look toward our future opportunities and continue to build on the great things our city has to offer. We must continue to be the city of progress. Thank you for the time, sir.
Okay, let's go with the introduction from the incumbent Mayor Bill Cooper. Go ahead, Mayor.
First, I would like to say good day to everyone. I'm William E. Cooper, the sitting mayor, and I'm delighted to be with you on this virtual forum. I would also like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this. I've been associated with this for many, many years, since 1987. I started off here some years ago as band director of Coppinsville High School. Was brought here by Mr. J.R. Snellgrove and Mr. B.F. Garth. Of course, I came here with nothing and ended up with a wife who has passed away, but with 3 children and 5 grandchildren. I have served under 5 mayors and I've served under 6 superintendents. For the past 33 years, I've served in the government of the city of Enterprise. I was the first person of color to be elected to the Enterprise City Council to represent District 1 for 7 times. Most of you know that I have a deep faith in the guidance of Enterprise High School. I have been the minister of music at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church for the past 18 years. Served the choirs, played the trumpet at many military funerals. I've also had a chance to go worldwide to help bring Enterprise up to date as it is now. When you look at the Civic Center, you look at the Farmers Market, you look at what went on downtown, you look at the building of Enterprise High School, you look at the building of Hillcrest, you look at the building of the law school. When I came here, there were only 4 schools. I look at the population of Enterprise that has grown down through the years. When I came here, it was just a small town. Now we almost have 30,000. We want to continue doing what we're doing. One of the main things is to get from the industrial part, 167, so that we might be able to get materials in and out. One of the many things as far as grants and bonds and things of that sort, we have to work toward trying to make things work that way. I am for that.
Thank you very much. Okay, we go to candidate Lister Reeves with his opening remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Anthony. I am excited to be with y'all today. I'd much rather be in person because I'm much more of a face-to-face type person. I'm a relationship type person, but I am honored to be with y'all this morning. I appreciate the chamber putting this on. I am Lister Reeves. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in business for over 30 years. I know what it's like to open up a business. I know what it's like to run a business. I know the challenges that business people have. I know what the challenges are that many of our enterprise business owners have today, especially in today's times. I know what it's like to keep those doors open, to keep the lights open, to have employees, and to face challenging and difficult times. I am running for mayor because I believe I have a skill set that I can get out there and work with people. I can talk to people. And just as important, I feel like I have a skill set that I know how to listen to people. I feel like people out in our community want someone who they believe will listen to them, their concerns, listen to their comments, and learn from them. Because you know what, in reality, as I've been out there talking to people for the past several months now, the greatest resource that the City of Enterprise has is its people. We are richly talented with a great resource of people in this community. I want to help Enterprise grow and go into that next phase, which I believe will be the greatest days that Enterprise has ever had. I believe our best days have not been seen yet. I believe our best days are still ahead of us, and I want to be a part of moving Enterprise into that next phase of growth, showing people that our best days are there. I'm a dreamer, and I believe that we can do the best that Enterprise has ever seen in the days ahead. I want to be a part of that growth. I want to be your mayor, and I appreciate this time to introduce myself to you.
We go to our last candidate here for opening remarks from Mr. Perry Vickers. Mr. Vickers.
I'm Perry Vickers, and I'm a resident of Enterprise for the last 60 years. I'm married to Elizabeth Warren Fleming Vickers, who is a native of Enterprise, and I have two children, Dr. Walt Vickers and my daughter Leah Vickers, both graduates of Enterprise High School. I think I'm the only one that everybody in my family were graduates of Enterprise High School. Been on the city council for the past 4 years. The past 2 years, I have served as council president. We have done a lot of things for the city. We have reduced our debt by 26 million. We have a lot of things in the pipeline that we would like to get finished. One that is extremely important, of which the mayor has had the opportunity to appoint, but we are without department heads in about 4 different departments, and these are greatly needed. We have an infrastructure problem, and as I've been saying, and the fact that our streets need to be repaved. I love Enterprise High School. I spent 38 years there, the last 23 as a school administrator. Enterprise is a city of progress. That school is part of that progress. Fort Rucker is part of that progress, and they all need our attention, our love, and our respect. Thank you.
All righty, thank you very much, Mr. Vickers. Now we're going to go to questions. We have 2 questions. Again, we're going to start off with the first question. We're going to go in alphabetical order, just the way we started the introductions off. Gentlemen, we've got a rather lengthy question for you, this first question. Many times, each person, when seeking office, has strong characteristics and life experiences they bring to their position. What are some strengths that you feel you bring to the table as for mayor of Enterprise? To the converse, no one is perfect. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses they see in themselves. What are some of the weaknesses or obstacles you feel you will have or will have if elected to this position? First of all, we'll go with a 1 minute response from Mr. Baker, or 2 minute response from Mr. Baker.
Thank you, sir. So let's start with my strengths. What I bring to the city is knowledge of the military, a college education. I have MBA from Troy University that I bring, and I bring experience working with small business. I have worked not with 1, but 2 small businesses. The first, I was able to develop that business into about a $47 million a year business. And when the 2 owners split, I went with 1 owner. We started all over again with 6 people and $2 million a year worth of revenue. 4 years later, we're at 328 people in the company. And at the end of the year, we'll have grossed $50 million in revenue. So my strengths is my global network. I have a network of individuals who are in the aviation business. The aviation is continuing to grow across our country. One of the premier parts of aviation is going to be unmanned systems. We need someone who understands how to grow our infrastructure, understand how to grow an airport, and how to do those things to attract business to the city of Enterprise. If I have one weakness, it would be the weakness of understanding the laws and the rules of running a city. But just like in college, a little studying, I can sharpen that learning curve fairly quick. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Baker. Mr. Cooper, your 2 minute response to the first question.
First of all, I would like to say that as being a person of experience, I've had 33 years of dealing with city issues that were budgets, streets, water system, garbage collection, fire department. I've established a relationship with local, state, and federal officials and agencies that can help us. One of the weaknesses possibly going to be having almost a new total city council that we're going to have to deal with. And of course, with my years of experience as mayor, I can use that experience as an advantage for the betterment for the city of Enterprise.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Cooper. And your 2 minute response, Mr. Reeves.
Thank you. I think one of the strengths that I have is I have a strong business background, knowing how to run a business, and I believe I can take that to the operations and the running of the city of Enterprise. But more importantly than that, I believe that the good Lord has graced me with the strength that I have a passion and I have a love for people. I believe when you're the mayor of any city, and especially a city as great as Enterprise, you got to have a passion and a love for people. You got to be a relationship type person that wants to get out there and help people. And that's what I want to do. I want to be a mayor that the people will look at and say, you know what? That man may not have been able to answer every question we had, but that was an individual that listened to us. He cared about our needs and our concerns, and he really, truly wanted to help us. If I have a weakness, it would probably be that I don't have all the answers. But even though I don't have all the answers, I have a confidence and I have a stability that I'm willing to put the right people around me to listen to other people and get a group of people together that do perhaps have the answers, because in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. And I am confident that I can find the right people, surround myself with good people that have the wisdom so that we can answer the questions that needed to be answered and needs to go forward for our city of Enterprise. So once again, I love the people of Enterprise. I'll have a passion for them, and I want to be their mayor because I want to be a help to them so that everyone can be encouraged to know that their best days are still ahead of them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Reeves. Let's go to Mr. Vickers with your response.
I believe my strengths are in the fact of my education, I think, and my ability to lead and to bring things along within the city. Sometimes you come into an organization and a fresh look will give you an idea of what needs to be fixed and what needs to be propped up. We have a lot of things within our city that needs a new perspective. And my strength is being able to see what those things are. My weakness would be sometimes is an area I get in a problem with multitasking sometimes and not keeping my focus on what is at hand. But I have a deep love for Enterprise. I have a deep knowledge for Enterprise, possibly more than anybody sitting on as any of these candidates. And that the love and that passion will drive me to make sure that Enterprise progresses in a way that is sorely needed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Vickers. We'll have question number 2. We'd like to remind you once again that all segments will be uploaded and posted on the Enterprise Chamber of Commerce Facebook page and YouTube channel within the next 24 to 48 hours. Also, you can find detailed information about the election and candidates on the Chamber's website at www.enterprisealabama.com. And additionally, you can tune into Southeast Sun to follow it on Facebook Live, but also you can go to these various social media outlets of the candidates after this is complete and take a look at it, because we realize a lot of you are at work or you have other things going on. We're going to go with the second question, and this time we'll go with the candidates in reverse order, starting with Mr. Vickers and ending with Mr. Baker. Our second of 2 questions. Can you name 2 things or issues that you consider are the most pressing for the city of Enterprise and should have the biggest priority if elected, and how will you address these priorities? 2 things or issues that you consider are the most pressing for the city of Enterprise and should have the biggest priority if elected, and how do you plan to address these priorities? First of all, we'll start off with Mr. Vickers.
The 2 big issues facing the Enterprise at this day and time, one is our infrastructure. As I've said before, our streets are in a deplorable condition. We need to spend the time and the money of getting these back into an acceptable condition. Another thing that our city needs is a facility that will enhance the quality of life for all of our citizens. We need a new recreation administrative building and a wellness center. I call it a wellness center because it's more than just a pool. It will help the quality of life of all of our citizens. And also with that recreation, we need a new soccer complex for our young people. These are sorely needed, and they would have my priority as going into office. And I would work with the council to see that these 2 things are done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Vickers. Let's go on to Mr. Reeves with the answer to the second question.
Well, that's a tough question, and it's a good question, but trying to place the priority on the top two is a challenge. I would probably say one of the well, let me go ahead and say this. I think the top challenge right now is we've got to find those department heads that we're missing right now. We're going to have to replace several department heads. I think you've got to have the right people in the right places at the right time to lead us into this next phase of growth for enterprise. So I'd say I'd put a priority in making sure that we hire the right people for those positions. After that, I believe we've got to look at what we can do to help enterprise reduce our debt. Now, how do we reduce our debt? You've got to do one of two things. You've either got to increase revenues or you've got to cut spending. So I think the best possible scenario there is a combination of the two. So I want to go out and find ways that we can attract more businesses to enterprise, industry, manufacturing, retail, more restaurants, more recreational facilities. I want to be able to do those kind of things because doing that will help build our infrastructure. That'll bring more revenues. And so that will bring us more avenues to where we can do the things that we want to do for enterprise to take us into that next phase of growth that I believe we have. So I believe that those would be probably the two top priorities for me once I'm elected mayor.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Reeves. Let's go to Mayor Cooper with his response.
One of the many first things that the elected mayor, you get together, you have what you call an organizational meeting. And in that organizational meeting, then you set up the priorities, what's going to go on for the next 4 years. And that will take care of a lot of the administrative thing. But the main thing is that we got to look at is trying to 167, which I have been a part for 25 years, trying to get from here to Troy, which is badly needed. We have the veterans home that's going to be going up there, and it's going to really need some way in and out because other industries are going to come. Also in the industrial park where we have a lot going on there is to support those local businesses and whatnot and to supply what they need up there. And then as far as our school system, still promoting enterprise school system, one of the best in the state. So those are the things that we're going to have to work toward because with jobs, education, and et cetera, that brings about all that. Because of the fact that I do have 3 degrees, 3.5 years as mayor, and 33 years as a city councilman. Therefore, my experience will allow me to work toward getting such as that I have stated.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor Cooper. And let's go to the response from Mr. Bill Baker.
Thank you. The two things right now that is critical to enterprise is infrastructure. You will not be able to bring businesses in here nor support a VA home unless you improve your road structures, your sewage structures, your water, your electrical grid. We have to do that. We have to plan a future. I keep talking about a strategic plan the next 5 to 10 years. That has to be in place so we can bring these new businesses to our city and increase the revenues so we can take care of those things. The next thing is personnel. It was said that you have to have the right people in the right place, but you have to have them there at the right time. You know, we're missing a city clerk for years now. We're down several key positions in our city. Those positions have to be hired in a timely manner so we keep that fresh look, that leadership, and those inputs to those things for the city has to do every day. We got to have that input. You have to have those stakeholders in place in order to get the data that you need, that you can be proactive instead of every day waking up and just being reactive to the next screen. So those are the two things I think the city really needs is strategic plan, focusing on our infrastructure, and a strategic plan, focusing on the personnel and how we go about obtaining the right people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Baker. And thank you, gentlemen, for answering those two questions. Right now, we'll have sort of we'll give you each 60 seconds for closing remarks, because I'm sure there's something going through your head that you said, I wish I'd have said this or brought this up. We'll start off with Mr. Baker for a 60-minute closing comment.
The city needs a strategic plan that will move Enterprise from a small town to a city while we're keeping that small town charm. That plan will provide a roadmap for the city leadership for the next 10 to 15 years. We need a mayor that is willing to assist our current small businesses. We need a plan that focuses on the city's infrastructure. For example, when you have a plan in place, key personnel can be replaced in a timely manner. We need that plan today. That plan needs to focus on how we're going to support the new VA home. What an incredible opportunity. Our city's leadership continues to be reactive instead of proactive. Let me be clear. The VA home project, it was a passion of mine long before the city came to me to ask to write that proposal. I was surprised the day of the announcement when no representative from our city was present. The city is in desperate need of leaders who will be present and accounted for before decisions are made, not take credit after.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Baker. Mayor Cooper, your 60-second response and closing remark.
Well, I would just like to say that we have set up $900,000 as running sewage and water toward that. And some years ago, City Council saw fit to buy land. At that time, we didn't know anything about the VA, but it was there. Also, the industrial park and other things that are needed around town that we are working toward trying to do. First, you align yourself with good people. You work with what you have, and you try to move what you have. Because of the fact that with the Arresta and the HSSA and other projects that we have going here, Enterprise is moving forward. We are the fastest growing city south of Montgomery. We're one of the 10th largest cities as far as moving in the right direction. With Fort Rucker, $1 billion that we work out there, retirees and all that. So we are moving in the right direction. So may the work I've done speak for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Cooper. And for your 60-second closing remark, Mr. Reeves.
Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity I've had with y'all today. As I've been out there the last few months talking to people all across all neighborhoods in Enterprise, I've been impressed with the quality of people that we have in this great city. I am a people person. I'm not afraid to roll up my sleeves and get out there and work with people and find out what people's desires, comments, questions, what they have. I want to be out there with you. I want to help. I also am a type person that can have the people skills to work with people. I believe I can unite our city, bring people together in a times that needed to be brought together in times of adversity. I'm not afraid to address issues that may be of conflict. I'm not afraid to address issues such as racial tensions. I'm not afraid to address an issue such as the coronavirus. I'm willing to get out there and go forth and be a spokesman for this city and let people know that I will defend your rights as individuals and I'll defend the rights as this country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Reeves. And with closing comments for 60-second closing remarks by Mr. Vickers. Go ahead, Mr. Vickers.
Yes, I want to reiterate the fact that I have had the experience to work with this city. I have served on the representative to the Chamber of Commerce. I'm a board member of Main Street. I was on the city council who developed the plan and the incentive for the Veterans Home. That Veterans Home was gotten here by a lot of people. If anybody deserves the main appreciation, it would be Jonathan Tullis. He was the one that kept us all on the main street and kept us moving forward. I love Enterprise. Nobody loves Enterprise better than I do. And I know what needs to take place at City Hall. I need your vote on August the 25th.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Vickers. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time, and we appreciate what you have done for the City of Enterprise. We'd also like to remind everybody that you can catch this in its entirety, and it will be posted within the next 24 to 48 hours on the Enterprise Chamber of Commerce Facebook page. You can also find out detailed information about the election and the candidates on the Chamber's website at www.enterprisealabama.com, and also it will be available to the candidates to put on their social media websites or whatever they might have. And additionally, you can tune into the Southeast Sun and follow it on Facebook Live. We're going to take a brief break and we'll be back. We have segment number 2 coming up with the District 1 City Council people, and that'll be Sonia Rich along with Readers White Jr. and Gerald Whitehurst. And that'll be coming up in just a few minutes. Thank you very much.